Welcome back to a new and updated version on how to get the Missouri Foxtrotter early in the game for Arthur. This is based on the same method as my previous video I made a couple of years ago, with a change in location to stand in to make it much easier to target the woman who spawns with the dead horse and avoid being spotted by the law. Before I show you this new updated method, first please make sure you have a scoped rifle with you, because you will still be standing from quite a distance. If you're starting early in chapter 2, then see the below video guide I link in the description on a money glitch you can do before attempting this in order to buy and upgrade the Springfield rifle. As with the other method, you must make sure you clear the Hosea Mission first at Emerald Ranch, where you have to steal the wagon from Seamus' cousin by marriage. If you have this mission active at Emerald Ranch, the woman with the Foxtrotter will not spawn near Carmody Dell, which is the exact location where we need her to spawn. With that being said, let me remind you of how to get her to spawn near Carmody Dell from my previous video.
You will need to make your way to the oil factory in the Heartlands. The red marker is the starting position. It's from here you will ride through the rail tunnel. The green area is the railway tunnel that you'll use to reset if necessary. And finally, the purple star is where the Foxtrotter will be. Pay close attention as I ride through the tunnel and go towards some electric telegraph poles. It will be the second telegraph pole that you stand next to, but be careful not to go any further. What you're looking for is a woman with a dead horse next to her. If you go beyond the second telegraph pole, you will trigger the woman to start walking. This will make it much harder for you to try and target and kill her. If she's there, you'll be able to see her quite clearly next to the tree here that the two riders walk past. She obviously isn't here and I can't see the horse on the floor, so what we need to do is reset it. So to reset it, you just simply ride through the tunnel back to the oil factory and come back again. She's still not here for me, so I'm going to be patient and try and reset it once more.
Yep.
She's not here again, and it's probably due to an event of some bounty hunters that went past, so I would need to reset it once more. This time when I zoom in with my scoped Springfield rifle, I see the horse on the floor, which means the woman will be nearby.
So here is a wider shot of the location where this takes place. I always get moaned at if I don't include this, so here it is. Once we have got her to spawn in, we're going to change our position this time, instead of standing at the telegraph pole like in the previous video. As you can see here, this is where the rail tunnel is and what you use to try and get her to spawn in. Once she does spawn, she should be here near this marker. This yellow highlighted area is where we're going to stand in order to get a better view of her and be able to target her more easily. What we need to do now is avoid riding anywhere near her and ride along the track where I show the arrows and up to the end position. It's important to note that if you ride near her at any time, she will start to walk off, so keep a very wide distance until you get into position. So I've now moved into position, and here is a close-up view of where I am. I've placed markers to show where I am and where the woman and horse spawn on this map. To start with, I've got into position during the daylight so that you can see exactly what the location looks like where you need to stand. The woman will be spawned with a dead horse, and our aim is to shoot her and get her to respawn with the horse alive. You might need several attempts to shoot her before the horse does eventually spawn alive. It is much easier to do this during the night where there are less NPCs using the road. When there is a witness nearby, they will alert the law, but you will always be safe where you're standing. You just need to wait out the wanted time and then use the following method to try and get her to respawn. I will show you this method a couple of times during the day so you can see what I mean, but then we'll move on to nighttime and you will see that I have more luck. So once the wanted marker has disappeared and the lawmen have departed, in order to get her to respawn, you need to stay exactly where you are and turn your camera around to face the rocks behind you. Stay like that for a few seconds and then look back to see if she's respawned. Keep doing this several times and she will eventually appear. You do need to be patient whilst waiting for this to happen. Eventually, once the rain finally stopped, she appeared again for me. I will show you one more time what happened whilst trying this during the daytime. As you can see, she's just as resilient as ever, so if you don't get a headshot the first time, you might have to go into Deadeye and shoot her again to avoid her running off. But of course, because it's daytime, I get a witness which interferes with her respawning, so I'd need to wait out the wanted level again and use the turning around method I showed you just now in order to get her to spawn again. But let's fast forward now a bit later to night time so I can show you how much easier it is to do it then. So here I am a few hours later, catching up with some light reading. I haven't changed my position and I'm still in front of the rocks behind me. I believe that reading your journal acts in the same way as turning your camera around to get her to respawn. If reading the journal helps you, let me know in the comments section. This is just a hunch that it might work. Failing that, just use the same method and keep turning the camera around until she appears again. So after closing my journal, she finally appears again for me. So let's try to kill her as many times as we can in the hope that the horse will spawn alive. And of course, I'm not a very good shot and it takes 2 times to get her down again. But what happens next is that after only a few seconds she respawns again without me even having to do the turning the camera around trick. I keep zoomed in with the scope and as long as I get accurate headshots on her, she keeps spawning almost immediately after I've killed her. After I've killed her, you can see that the horse briefly stands up as the woman respawns. It is this that we're trying to glitch, where the horse does not die and fall to the ground but stays alive instead. I will leave all my attempts in here because as a result of me killing her over and over again, the horse did indeed finally spawn alive. You need to make sure you're keeping an eye on the horse at all times to check if it's alive. And there it is, the horse is now standing up and hasn't fallen down. I need to kill her quick and then run down to where the horse is. The noise of the gunshots has spooked it a little bit and it runs off, so in a panic I race down to try and find it.
Easy, girl.
There are some NPCs nearby which have now run off to alert the law, so I don't delay and jump on the horse as quickly as I can. I was contemplating stopping to loot all her dead bodies, but didn't want to risk getting the law on my back, so I kept going.
Let's go.
Once you've mounted the horse, you will get the confirmation it is indeed a Missouri Foxtrotter.
That's a good girl.
If you're wanted like me, just ride away from the area marked in red on your minimap to a safer spot where you can then saddle it up and bomb with it immediately. Once you're saddled up, it's time to ride to Valentine's stables and to rename it and upgrade it as you wish. Most importantly, by taking it to the stables, it should also prevent a glitch from occurring when you next log in, where sometimes you're unable to mount the Missouri Foxtrotter. I do hope this new and updated guide has helped you get the silver Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. I've put a link in the description for the previous video I did, which might also help you. Remember, you can do this at any time during the game as long as you haven't given this woman a lift already and you've cleared the mission in Emerald Ranch. Feel free to ask questions in the comments section. I always try to reply to each one as soon as possible.
Easy.